Good afternoon, Knights. Thanks for joining us. I'm Aidari Riera, and today is Monday, October 18, 2021. Here's your nightly news update. Former U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell died from complications of COVID-19. He was the first Black U.S. Secretary of State whose leadership helped shape American foreign policy. Powell was 84 years old and fully vaccinated, but had a suppressed immune system due to a cancer of plasma cells. A group of American-Canadian missionaries are being held hostage in Haiti, according to Christian Aid Ministries. The Ohio-based ministry says the group of 17 were abducted on Saturday while on a trip to visit an orphanage. They say among the kidnapped are 5 kids, 7 women, and 5 men. In a statement on Sunday, the organization said they are seeking God's direction, and authorities are finding ways to help. Nightly News will keep you updated as the story develops. Facebook is in deep water this week. The company faces allegations of allowing misinformation and political unrest on their social media platforms. Reporter Adriana Aquino will tell you more on how UCF advises its students, faculty, and staff about online deception.
Earlier this week, data scientist Frances Haugen revealed herself as the whistleblower who exposed Facebook's deceptive inner workings. The former Facebook employee shared thousands of internal documents with federal police and the media while keeping her identity a secret. Haugen says the company allowed misinformation on topics like COVID-19 and politics to spread. Facebook's profits increased as a result of the negative bureau reaction. During an interview with 60 Minutes, she says the social media giant cares about their gains over their consumer safety.
Facebook has demonstrated they cannot act independently. Facebook over and over again has shown it chooses profit over safety. It is subsidizing, it is paying for its profits with our safety.
Haugen hopes her actions are the push the federal government needs to finally regulate social media. And UCF tells us to be cautious of the outlet.
98% of college students use social media daily, according to an Experience Simon studies. UCF Deputy Chief of Police David Zambri was appointed Chief Information Security Officer effective today. He says it's important consumers educate themselves on how these social media systems work and seek out official information.
You know, if someone walked up to you on the street, you wouldn't believe whatever they said. You'd talk to 10 other people. So I think we have to go outside our comfort zone and make sure we're getting those other opinions.
In Orlando, Adriana Aquino Andino, UCF Nightly News.
Facebook Inc. says they are boosting their artificial intelligence to clear up false information and hate speech from all their sites. Nightly News will keep you updated as the story develops. The infrastructure bill is at standstill in the House of Representatives. House Democrats are struggling to unify the party to pass the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. The bill will provide federal funding for improving roads, bridges, and much more. The Senate already passed a bill with 19 Republicans. The fate of the bill now relies in the House. Congress and Legislative Process lecturer John Hanley explains the importance of bipartisan support for the bill.
From the perspective of re-election in 2022 or 2024 for Biden, it's important to be able to say,
if the bill is passed and signed by the president, states will be able to improve poorly conditioned road bridges, highways, and increase transportation safety. Floridians are no longer strangers to hot and rainy days, but the lack of covered walkways makes moving around campus unbearable. The average temperature in Florida can range from the mid-80s and low 90s. According to a study done by UCF Berkeley, the pavement can be 15 to 40 degrees hotter than the air temperature. The hot pavement and blazing sun made some students demand a change. Biology major Sophia Vega explained how tiring it is to walk to her classes.
I think so, especially when it's raining and it's really hot. So by the time I get to class, I'm sweaty and gross.
The John T. Washington Breezeway is the only covered walkway on campus. Some students took to Reddit to discuss the issue. The facilities and planning construction team said they appreciate feedback and take students' opinions seriously. The Track Shack hosted that you can finish 5-mile, 2-mile, and distance there at UCF over the weekend. The race is presented by Advent Health. UCF alumni are partners of the event. Participants from the ages of 7 to 80 plus competed in this in-person and virtual race. Track Shack had multiple events this year and they returned to UCF. Physics major Allison Allianic explained what motivated her and her roommate to participate in this year's 5-mile race.
I started during COVID, just running, and then I wanted to do an in-person race. And my roommate was like, there's a race coming to UCF. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. And we started training.
On October 23rd, Track Shack is hosting the Orlando Magic 5K and Kids Run presented by Advent Health. UCF Honors Congress held a spooky and sweet event on Friday. The Honors Congress set up a Halloween cookie decorating station at Memory Mall to support the organization. The Honors Congress holds events to gather donations for different charities every month. The next events will focus on Nighthon, part of the National Miracle Network Dance Marathon movement. Director of Philanthropy Daniela Gomez-Dugan fills us in on who and what this spooky event is raising money for.
Yeah, so the event is raising money for our Nighthon team. So Nighthon basically benefits the Orlando Health Arnold Palmer Hospital for children, and all the benefits will go there.
The Honors Congress will be holding its next event on October 20th. From 7 to 9 p.m., it will be a karaoke night held outside the Addition Financial Arena to raise money for Nighthon. UCF football suffered a 56-21 loss against number 3 ranked Cincinnati on Saturday. The Bearcats improved to 6-0 on the season and jumped up to the number 2 ranking in the AP Top 25 polls. Nightly News reporter Jason Hamby tells us how the game got so out of hand.
The Knights went on the road against their big rival in Cincinnati, and it got out of hand early. The Cincinnati rushing attack could not be stopped. The Bearcats moved the ball at will, led by running back Jerome Ford's 4 touchdowns in the first half. A disappointed UCF head coach Gus Malzahn had high praises for Cincinnati after the game.
That team can play with any team in the country. They've got a complete team offensively, defensively, and special teams, and they could win the whole thing.
It was a tough day for Knights quarterback Mikey Keene, who was starting in just his 3rd collegiate game in replacement for Dylan Gabriel. Keene threw for just 141 yards and threw 2 interceptions, one which was returned 74 yards for a Bearcats touchdown. Defensive lineman Anthony Montalvo talked post-game about how this loss was affecting the team.
Seniors are devastated. Everybody's devastated. It's a loss, but the coaches say, on to the next one.
Another one of those seniors is offensive lineman Luke Jackson, who talked post-game about what this loss means for the Knights going forward.
Losses are better teachers than wins, and we're just going to move on, get ready for Memphis.
Now at the halfway point in the season, the loss moves UCF to 3-3. They'll look to rebound at home this Friday against the Memphis Tigers. In Orlando, Jason Hamby, UCF Nightly News.
The game against the Memphis Tigers is set to kick off at 7 p.m. Friday night in the Bounce House. Students' tickets are available as always on the UCF Game Day app. The UCF men's soccer team made it 2 top 25 teams in a row as they defeated the number 24 ranked SMU Mustangs this past Saturday. The Knights defeated their conference rivals 2-1. This makes it 2 wins in a row, with their last victory being against number 6 ranked Tulsa. The Knights' record is 7-4, with only one of those losses coming in conference play. UCF will travel next to Philadelphia to take on Temple this Friday. And now let's take a look at today's weather forecast. Today's high is 82 degrees with mostly cloudy skies and a 0% chance of rain. Tonight, the low is a chill of 61 degrees. Tomorrow's high is 84 degrees with partly sunny skies and a 0% chance of rain, with a low of 64 degrees. Much colder than previous day. It looks like winter is finally coming. And that's all the time we have for now. Make sure to keep up with all that's happening throughout the week by following us on Instagram at UCF Knightly News. And check back here tomorrow for another Nightly News update. I'm Aidari Riera. Thanks for watching and have a great day.